The 2006 McDonald's All-American Girls Game is filled with players who carved out successful college and pro careers, though a few of them ultimately failed to live up to their potential, mostly due to injuries. There's also at least one player likely to make the Hall of Fame when she retires. Before we dive in, I just wanted to make one quick note. I'm going to refer to most everyone by their maiden name just to make tracking a bit easier. With that said, let's take a look back at every player from the 2006 McDonald's All-American Girls Game. Jayne Appel. Appel's father played college ball at St. Mary's College of California. In addition to being a star basketball player, Appel was also a 3-year letter winner in water polo in high school. After winning the McDonald's MVP, she headed off to Stanford for college. Appel was a force out of the gate, averaging 13 points, 7.5 rebounds, and nearly 2 blocks a night to win the Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. The next season, she helped the 2004 McDonald's player Candace Wiggins lead the Cardinal to the title game, but ultimately they came up short against Tennessee. Appel continued to provide steady minutes throughout the next 2 seasons, making back-to-back second-team All-American squads, winning the Pac-10 Player of the Year in 2009, and surpassing Lisa Leslie as the all-time leading rebounder in Pac-10 history. Unfortunately, she broke her foot in the first game of the 2010 NCAA tourney. She played through the injury, but Stanford lost to UConn in the Final Four. Appel did not disclose the injury until the day of the WNBA draft. The Stars picked her 5th overall, but Appel was never able to become the same player she was in college. Over 7 seasons, she averaged 4 points, 6 boards, and 1 block a night. She was a starter, but not a star. After retiring in 2016, Appel became involved with the WNBPA as the Director of Player Relations. She was promoted to Senior VP of Player Relations in 2024 and is still working in that position, helping run the Players Union. Jessica Breland. Breland was born in NYC, but grew up in North Carolina. She stayed in-state to play for UNC. Breland got off to a relatively slow start, but was named the ACC's 6th Woman of the Year in 2008 after upping her averages to 11 points, 7 boards, and 2 blocks a night. She was even better in 2009 with 14 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. For that, she was named to the All-ACC and ACC All-Defensive teams. Sadly, she was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma that year and had to miss the entire 2010 season while undergoing chemotherapy. She was able to make a recovery and played solid basketball in 2011 with 12 points, 7 boards, and 2 blocks a night. The Lynx picked her in the 2nd round of the 2011 draft. She had an up-and-down first season and was waived in 2012. Breland came back in 2013 with Indiana and played solid basketball. She joined Chicago in 2014 and became a first-time All-Star with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks a night. Breland continued to play well for Chicago for the next 3 seasons and joined Atlanta in 2018. There, she showed out as a defensive stopper, making the All-Defensive team and finishing in 4th for DPOY voting. Breland missed the 2020 Wubble season with a medical exemption and finished out her career with one last season in Indy. After retiring in 2021, Breland spent some time working as a business owner before joining the NBA's assistant coaches program in 2023. It's not clear if she's still in that program, but she does seem to be looking to coach in the near future. Tina Charles. Charles was the latest in a long line of great high school hoopers to come through the halls of Christ the King in Queens. During her time there, she led the team to 57 consecutive wins and the #1 ranking in the nation in 2006. She took her talents to UConn for college. She was a star from the word go, averaging 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks a night to win the National Freshman of the Year. She was a 3rd-team All-American in 2008, but took a real jump in 2009. That year, the dominant center partnered with Maya Moore and Renee Montgomery to win the Huskies a title. Charles and Moore ran it back in 2010 to win a 2nd straight title, and Charles swept most Player of the Year awards with 18 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks a game. The Sun picked her first overall in 2010. She came out of the gate hot, averaging 15.5 points, 12 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks to win the Rookie of the Year. Charles was an All-Star in year 2 and won the MVP in 2012. She continued to be a dominant presence through the 2019 season, joining the Liberty in 2014 for 2 first-round picks and Kelsey Bone. Like Breland, she skipped the Wubble season in 2020 due to a medical condition related to asthma. She came back to make her 8th All-Star game with the Mystics in 2021. Charles has continued to play through the 2025 season, and while no longer an All-Star, she is still a solid player. Over her 14-year career, Charles is a 1-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 4-time rebounding champ, 9-time All-WNBA selection, and 4-time All-Defensive Team nod. She is widely viewed as the greatest WNBA player to never appear in the finals, and currently sits in second on the WNBA's all-time scoring list behind Diana Taurasi. Despite the lack of team hardware in the WNBA, Charles is a 3-time Olympic gold medal winner and has picked up league titles in Poland and Turkey during the WNBA offseason. In addition to her on-court work, Charles has been one of the most philanthropic players in the league. Since 2013, she has donated her WNBA salary to various charities. She is a no-doubt Hall of Famer, though she might have a few more years left in her before she retires. Joy Cheek. Cheek was born in Maryland, but played high school ball in North Carolina. She joined Duke for college. Over her 4-year career, Cheek was a solid player, averaging about 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal during her final 3 seasons after coming off the bench as a freshman. The Fever picked her in the 3rd round of the 2010 draft. She played in 10 total WNBA games between Indy and Washington, averaging 2 points in limited minutes. Cheek was planning to play in Spain in 2011, but decided to join Duke's staff as an assistant coach. She has been working as an assistant for more than a decade, moving from Duke to Ohio State to Vanderbilt to Clemson to Ole Miss. As of the start of the 2026 season, she is still with the Rebels. Jacki Gemelos. Gemelos was one of the top players in this class when she signed with USC. Unfortunately, recurrent knee injuries forced her to miss the 07, 08, and 09 seasons. When she finally got on the court in 2010, Gemelos was solid, averaging 8 points a night, but could only play in 11 games. The next year, she played a full season, dropping 12.4 points and 5 rebounds. Unfortunately, she suffered a season-ending injury after just 9 games in 2012, ending her college career. Despite all the injury troubles, the Lynx picked her in the 3rd round. She was released before the season and spent a few years playing in Greece and Italy. Gemelos signed with the Sky in 2015 and averaged 1 point over 17 games. She spent a few more years overseas, but signed with the Sun in 2020. She was waived after 6 games and signed with the Mystics to end the season. It wasn't quite the on-court career she had hoped for, but after 5 ACL tears, it's admirable that she even made it to the WNBA. In 2021, she joined Liberty's staff as an assistant coach. She also spent some time working for Nike before becoming a sports agent and talent rep in 2023, where she's still working as of 2025. Amber Harris. Harris joined Xavier for college ball. She won the A10 Freshman of the Year behind 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks a night. Her numbers dipped slightly in 08, but she was still solid. Harris missed the 2009 season, but came back in 2010 to make the 3rd-team All-American roster. She finished out her college career with 19 points, 10 boards, and 2.3 blocks to make the 2nd-team All-American list and pick up her 2nd straight A10 Player of the Year award. The Lynx picked her 4th overall in the 2011 draft. She spent 3 years with Minnesota, mostly coming off the bench, but helping the Lynx win titles in 2011 and 2013. Harris then spent 3 seasons playing overseas before joining the Sky in 2017. During her 2 years in Chicago, she didn't get much playing time and retired in 2018. Since then, she's been working as a youth coach, mostly at the high school level. Mitch Harrison. Harrison was assigned female at birth and went by his given name Michelle prior to transitioning. Harrison joined Appel at Stanford to start his college career. He got solid minutes off the bench as a freshman, but missed all but one game in 08 due to injury. Harrison came back off the bench for 3 more years for the Cardinal, but didn't play too much. Harrison then transferred to Utah and became a starter, averaging 5 points and 7 rebounds. Harrison then tried to play overseas for a few seasons before further injuries ended his career. In 2015, Harrison met his now wife and decided to transition. In 2020, Harrison participated in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Titan Games. As of 2023, he was working as a personal trainer. Allison Hightower. Hightower decided to head to LSU, joining a few previous McDonald's players in Sylvia Fowles, Erica White, and Kiana Chaney. She played solid minutes off the bench as a freshman, making the SEC's all-freshman team with 6 points a night. The next year, Hightower won the SEC's 6th Woman of the Year award. By 2009, those other players had graduated, so Hightower was the lead option. She put up 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block a night to make the All-SEC and SEC All-Defensive teams. She bumped her scoring up to 18 as a senior and made the All-SEC and All-Defensive teams for the 2nd straight season. Connecticut picked Hightower in the 2nd round of the 2010 draft. She mostly came off the bench for her first 2 seasons and only averaged 7 points a night in year 3. However, Hightower had a career year in 2013, putting up 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists to make the All-Star team. Unfortunately, she missed a chunk of 2014 with a knee injury, which ultimately caused her to miss the next 2 seasons. She came back to play in 11 games with the Mystics in 2017 before leaving the WNBA behind. As of 2024, Hightower was working a corporate job and seemed to be interested in working for the NBA or WNBA in the future. Ashley Houts. Houts stayed in-state to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. She won the SEC Rookie of the Year with 9 points, 4 assists, and just a hair under 3 steals per game. Over the next 3 seasons, Houts made 3 straight All-SEC teams while dropping about 12 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals a night. The Liberty picked her in the 2nd round of the 2010 draft. She was quickly traded to the Mystics for former McDonald's player Nikki Blue. In 22 games, Houts averaged about 1 point and was out of the WNBA after her rookie season. She spent several years playing overseas before joining Missouri State as the Director of Basketball Operations in 2017. 2 years later, she became an assistant coach at East Tennessee State. In 2020, Houts joined Nike and is working in sports marketing as of 2025. Jacki Jernigan. Jernigan started her college career at Rutgers. She barely got any playing time and decided to transfer to Xavier after a season. When Jernigan got back on the court in 08, she was solid, averaging about 6 points and 6 rebounds. Her numbers dipped a bit in 2010, but she was still a good rotation piece. She did, however, miss a wide open layup that kept the Musketeers from that year's Final Four. It looks like she played a bit overseas before doing a few odd jobs until 2016. That year, she became an assistant coach at Tallahassee Community College. 2 years later, she started working as an interim education director. As of 2019, Jacki was working as an education counselor in Florida. Adrian McGowen. As of 2020, McGowen was still 5th all-time in girls high school scoring nationally with 5,424 career points. Unfortunately, that high school talent didn't quite pan out. McGowen spent 1 year at Texas A&M, averaging 3 points, and left the team before the 2008 season. It does not look like she transferred to another school, and there's almost no information about her online. The one thing I did find is a LinkedIn profile that might be hers, which says she was working as a truck driver as of 2021. That said, take that piece of info with a massive grain of salt. Kaili McLaren. McLaren joined UConn for college ball. Over 4 years, she mostly came off the bench to average 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. While never a star, she did help the Huskies win 2 titles during her last 2 years in school. She did not play in the WNBA, but spent several years playing overseas. even winning the Greek Player of the Year in 2011. In 2019, she decided to hang up her sneakers and become the Director of Player Personnel with Maryland. The next year, she became an assistant coach at UC Santa Barbara. After 3 years, she joined Providence as an assistant, but left in 2025 to join Vanderbilt. As of the start of the 2026 season, McLaren is working as an assistant on the Commodore staff. Morghan Medlock. Medlock started her college career at USC. She appeared in every game as a freshman and averaged 6.6 points and 5.5 rebounds as a sophomore. Medlock then decided to transfer to Baylor. She did not have to sit out a season after being granted a waiver and played solid basketball, averaging 7 points and 4.5 rebounds. As the only senior on the team in 2010, she helped Brittney Griner lead the Bears to the Final Four as the team's third leading scorer and second leading rebounder. She spent a few years playing overseas, including tours in Spain. After hanging up her sneakers, Medlock became a private chef in 2017. She continues to work as a chef, but many WNBA fans might know her from seeing her coordinated outfits appearing on the sidelines. In 2023, Medlock started dating all-star Brittany Sykes and is almost always in the front row with a stylish new outfit. Bridgette Mitchell. Mitchell went to Duke to play college ball. During her first 3 years, she didn't play much, but was solid when she did see the floor. In 2010, she finally got a chance to shine, starting 26 games and averaging 8.4 points, 4.6 boards, and 1.6 steals a game. She played for a few years overseas before becoming an assistant coach at Wagner College in 2013. She continued to work as an assistant for several schools until earning the head coaching job at Northeastern in 2021. In 2023, she took over as the head coach at Fordham, where she's still working as of 2025. Jordan Murphy. Out of high school, Murphy signed with Texas Tech. As a freshman, she averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists a night. Over the next 3 years, she kept improving, peaking at 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals as a senior in 2010. She was not drafted by the WNBA, but was playing pro ball in Finland as of 2014. She's been living a normal life since then, and while I did find a social media profile, she set it to private, which I take to mean that she'd rather stay out of the public eye these days. Abi Olajuwon. You may have heard of Olajuwon's father. Hakeem is a 2-time NBA champ, 1-time MVP, and a Hall of Famer, along with a whole host of accolades. Olajuwon's eldest daughter joined the Oklahoma Sooners for college ball. During her first 3 years, Olajuwon didn't get much playing time, but became a starter in 2010 after the Paris Twins left for the WNBA. She averaged 10.6 points and 7.3 rebounds while helping OU to another Final Four appearance. The Chicago Sky picked her in the 3rd round of the 2010 draft. Olajuwon put up 1 point a night in 6 games and spent the 2011 season in Tulsa. That was the extent of her WNBA career, but Olajuwon did spend about 3 years playing overseas. In 2014, she ended her on-court career and joined Cal State Fullerton's staff as an assistant. She continued to work as an assistant at the college level until joining the Connecticut Sun staff in 2023. After 2 years, she went back to the college ranks and is an assistant at Arizona State as of 2026. On top of that, Olajuwon is an assistant coach for Nigeria's national team, helping them earn their first Olympic win in 20 years at the 2024 Games. Porsha Phillips. Phillips started her college career at LSU. She played well in limited minutes, but decided to move closer to home after her freshman season and join the Georgia Bulldogs. After sitting out a season, Phillips got into the mix quickly, averaging 10.5 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block a night in 2009. She had a bit of a down year in 2010, but came back in 2011 to average a double-double. That earned her a first-team All-SEC nod, and the Silver Stars picked her in the 3rd round of the 2011 draft. Phillips played in 31 games in 2011, averaging 2 points and 2 rebounds, but was out of the league after the season. She also isn't the only athlete in the family. Her older brother Brandon is a 3-time All-Star in the MLB and is married to WWE wrestler Jade Cargill. Epiphanny Prince. During high school, Prince broke Cheryl Miller's record for most points scored in a single girls game by pouring in 113 points. After high school, she signed with Rutgers for college. She made the Big East All-Freshman team with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2.5 steals. Prince played well over the next 2 years, raising her scoring to nearly 20 a night in 2009 to make her second straight third-team All-American squad. She decided to leave school after 3 years and play in Russia and Turkey for a season before joining the WNBA. After that year overseas, the Sky picked her 4th overall in 2010. Prince spent 5 years in Chicago, making 2 All-Star teams and averaging 15 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals a night. Ahead of the 2015 season, she was traded to the Liberty. She didn't enjoy as much success during her 4 years there, even missing a big chunk of the 2016 season. Prince spent the 2019 season with the Aces before joining Seattle in 2020 and helping the team win a title. Prince was mostly a rotation player at that point, but stuck around the league through the 2023 season. The 2-time All-Star also played in Russia and Turkey during the WNBA offseason during her career and was granted Russian citizenship in 2010. She eventually played for the country's national team in the 2013 European Championships. In 2024, she joined the Liberty as the Director of Player Relations and Community Engagement. Brittainey Raven. Raven decided to stay in-state and play college ball at Texas. With the Longhorns, Raven got off to a solid start, averaging 8 points as a freshman. She bumped that up to 15 as a sophomore to make her first of 3 straight All-Big 12 teams. By all accounts, her sophomore season was her most successful. She never posted better averages, and Texas made it to the second round of the NCAA tourney. The Atlanta Dream picked her in the 3rd round of the 2010 draft. She played in 23 games, averaging 1.5 points and 1 rebound, but was out of the league after the season. Raven played overseas for a few years before hanging up her sneakers in 2014. She's since been working normal jobs back in Texas. Dymond Simon. Simon played college ball at Arizona State. She was getting buckets from the jump, averaging 9.4 points off the bench. Her sophomore season was a bit of a step back, but she raised her scoring to 14 a night in 2009. Simon missed the 2010 season with an injury, but came back to average 13 points, 3 assists, and 1.3 steals a night as a senior to make her second All-Pac-12 team. Simon was not selected in the 2011 draft, but signed with the Mercury in 2012. She played in 8 games, averaging 4 points and 2 assists, but was out of the league after the season. Simon then got into medical sales. As of 2025, she's working for a pharmaceutical company in Texas. Amanda Thompson. Thompson joined Olajuwon at OU. She played well in limited minutes as a freshman before boosting her numbers to 9 points and 6.5 rebounds in 08. She took a step back in 09, but was a full-time starter in 2010, putting up 13 points, 10.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block a night to make the All-Big 12 team. The Tulsa Shock picked her in the 2nd round of the 2010 draft. She averaged 1.6 points and 1.6 boards as a rookie, but didn't play in the WNBA for the next 3 seasons. Instead, Thompson spent some time overseas before joining Atlanta for the 2014 season. That was her final year in the WNBA, but Thompson played for a few more years overseas before retiring in 2017. She did some coaching with her alma mater, but as of 2025, she's working for Jordan Brand in merchandising. Amber White. White played with NC State and spent her first 2 seasons coming off the bench as a rotation player. She missed the entire 2009 season, but came back as a starter in 2010. White finished her college career on a high note, averaging 13.5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 2011. She was not drafted and eventually got involved in youth coaching and the AAU scene. In 2020, White joined the staff at William Peace University as an assistant. She's since left the school, but doesn't appear to have taken another coaching job just yet. Danielle Wilson. Wilson started her college career at Baylor. she made the Big 12's all-freshman team with 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks a night. In 08, she bumped those numbers up to 10 points, 7 boards, and 2.6 blocks. Her junior season was her best so far, with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. However, a knee injury knocked her out toward the end of the season. Wilson ended up missing 3 years of basketball before making her comeback at the D2 level with Dowling College. She was dominant at the lower division, winning her conference's Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year awards. She played briefly overseas before taking a job as an athletic director at a New York college. As of 2025, Wilson is working as the head coach at her high school alma mater after several years there as an assistant. Monica Wright. Wright was born in Texas, but played high school ball in Virginia. She decided to stay in-state and play for the Virginia Cavaliers. Wright won the ACC Freshman of the Year award with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals a game. She continued to improve over the next few years, becoming a 20-point-a-night scorer in 2009. Wright saved her best for last. As a senior, she put up 24 points, 6.5 rebounds, and just under 4 steals a night. For that, Wright was named a first-team All-American, won the ACC Player of the Year award, and picked up the WBCA National Defensive Player of the Year award. The Lynx picked her second overall in the 2010 draft. As a rookie, she averaged 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal a night to make the All-Rookie team. However, she moved to the bench for the next 5 seasons. Wright was a consistent 6th Woman of the Year vote getter, but never got back to her rookie numbers. That said, she did help the Lynx win 2 titles in 2011 and 2013. During that latter season, she was engaged to NBA star and fellow 06 McDonald's player, Kevin Durant, but the two ended their relationship before tying the knot. In 2015, she was traded to the Storm after a few games, but injured her knee and missed most of the season. She came back to play in 16 games in 2016, but Wright's knee kept giving her trouble and she retired after the season. Wright turned to coaching soon after. She joined Liberty University's staff as an assistant in 2019 before joining her alma mater for the 2020 season. Wright left that team after the 2021 season and joined the Phoenix Mercury as an assistant in 2023. In 2025, Wright was hired as the GM for the Toronto Tempo, a WNBA expansion team that's kicking off its inaugural season in 2026. And that is the 2006 McDonald's All-American squad. I'll be back in a few weeks with the 2007 crew, but for now, why don't you check out this video of DeWanna Bonner and the rest of the 2005 team.